What's going on, everyone? Tayler Kyles here for CLNS Media. This week, we're previewing the top 5 players at the top 5 positions of needs for the New England Patriots. Today, we're diving into the tight ends. While this year's draft class is full of some talented mid-round tight end options that I'm sure the Patriots will be interested in, we're going to have to take a look at some of the veteran options who could potentially fill in until those young players are ready if they end up going that direction in the draft. Noah Fant, who spent last year in Seattle but was originally drafted by the Denver Broncos. Now, Fant's production has steadily declined over the past few seasons, and he hasn't had what anyone would call a breakout season, but tight ends typically tend to develop pretty late in their careers, particularly in their second contracts, so it wouldn't be surprising to see a guy like Fant, who has impressive athleticism and decent size over the middle, be someone the Patriots target as an explosive number 2 option who could potentially grow into a number 1 role. He's also a good enough blocker that you can use him as a flex option or as someone who's on the wing on the line of scrimmage to help on double teams or climb up to the second level. He's also explosive after the catch with the ability to take short passes and throws in the flat and turn them into big gains. Next up, we've got Gerald Everett, the Chargers tight end, who honestly is more of a Jonnu Smith than what the Jonnu Smith was for the Patriots. He excels underneath and as a yards after catch option, who excels when it comes to breaking tackles and breaking off long runs underneath. He's not really much of a downfield option similar to a Jonnu Smith, although he can make the occasional contested catch and produce in the red area when the Patriots are in scoring territory. But that said, I would only want to bring him in the fold if he comes at a decently affordable price, as he doesn't give you a ton as a blocker and, as I mentioned, is limited as a receiver. Next up, we've got Broncos tight end Adam Troutman. Now, Troutman actually has experience with Patriots tight ends coach Bob Bicknell from their times back with the Saints. Now, Troutman was a highly touted prospect coming out of college, but hasn't lived up to that standard in the NFL. He has been a decent run blocker, which would likely be his main role on the Patriots, but with his athletic upside, there's always the chance that the Patriots can find a role where they can use that athleticism and turn him into some kind of weapon in the passing game. Last on the list, we've got Pharaoh Brown, who spent last season with the Patriots. Brown also has experience working in Alex Van Pelt's offense from when they were both in Cleveland together, and Brown proved last year that he could be a dominant run blocker who could also turn some underneath catches into big gains, or at least decent gains with his physicality, and showed some potential as a target down the seams with his size. Now, Brown would probably just be a short-term option while there were other players developing behind him, but you at least know what you're going to get out of him, and his familiarity both in New England and with Alex Van Pelt would give him a leg up over most of the options on the open market. Now, I've seen Austin Hooper tied to the Patriots, which makes sense considering his experience in Alex Van Pelt's system back when he was with the Cleveland Browns. Now, he's far from the worst option on the market, so if the Patriots do end up signing him because they can't bring back some of their veterans from last season, I would understand, but I think they can do better at the position.
Testing my skills on Prize Picks this season is the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $1,000 with just a few taps. Use the code CLNS for the first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.